got to do is go and join the CDT Insider email list, which you can do at grnonline.com/CDT. You can find the link there that says Fear or Insider, CDT Insider link, and you click that. It takes about a minute, 2 minutes. We're going to send you a talk by Father Bill Casey. We should come up with it. Should give him a new talk. That talk's been around for 2 years. It's still very good, though. If you've never heard it, it's powerful. Father Bill Casey's a powerful preacher, so it is still a great talk. But I think, Adrian, we ought to update that. But nonetheless, go to grnonline.com/CDT and join that email list today. So praise be to God for that. Hey, by the way, while you're on the website, make sure to stop by and get your car raffle tickets. You can do that at grnonline.com/raffle. $25 a piece. You can get 5 for $100. That's an extra one for free. And it only takes a moment. Secure. It's super easy, super fast, and you might win a brand new Mercedes as a result, and all proceeds go to support the Guadalupe Radio Network. But I do encourage you to contact your local GM and talk to them in person. It's a great way to get to know them a little bit, become friends, and support the local GRN radio station. So call your local general manager today. You can find their contact information on the website, grnonline.com, or you can go to your mobile app, your Guadalupe Radio Network mobile app. Just search for it in your iOS or Android app store. Download it. It's free. You can listen to your local station, get your contact information, programming information, as well as the podcasts that are available from the GRN. Search for that in your Guadalupe Radio Network mobile app as well. Praise be to God. So which side of the equation are you on, Rudy, when it comes to AI? Is it good? Is it bad? What say you?
Well, look, I think we discussed it on the show. There's obviously some risks here, and I appreciate the pointing out of the obvious risk. There needs to be accountability for the people who are actually employing this technology. But I'm a little bit optimistic about it. You know, I want to say almost, 2019, I worked for a school district as an assistive technology specialist. And basically what I would do is I would go in with different technologies that would help these kids to access their curriculum.
Okay.
These kids had special learning disabilities. Some of them had physical disabilities. And so I look at this technology, I look at it as a companion to us. We can use it for good. We can find good applications for it. And I think that, I don't know, maybe if we look at it in a creative way, we could bring about a little bit more access to people.
I see. So
you disagree?
I feel like there should be some clear rules before someone is allowed to leverage AI technology in any way. Like step one, you are not allowed to own private islands. Okay, with secret submarine bases embedded in them. You're not allowed to have hairless cats.
Sharks,
no hairless cats, no shark tanks, no giant men who
you can't own a jet
who you send out as henchmen with like gold teeth or whatever. Like no.
You can't have a moon base.
No,
I mean, if you
bases,
could even have one, because
zero moon bases
anyway,
involved.
Don't let me get into the moon here.
No system of satellites that orbit the Earth that could destroy cities. Like you're not allowed to own these things, operate them, or be associated with others that do. It should read the fine print. You should read the terms and agreements.
You know what I'm more worried about, though, is the fact that they are creating synthetic supplements for cows to stop them from burping methane.
Right, yeah.
So yesterday in the after show, we talked about how certain people were feeding their chickens a certain thing.
And the chickens stopped
laying eggs.
Yikes.
What is it going to what's going to happen when our beef supply is tainted with this this supplement here to stop the methane?
I see.
That's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about the AI.
You're not?
No, you can can't you just pull the plug? Can you just like pull the plug on the internet?
So
wait for the battery to run out.
Yeah, you can wait for the battery to run out.
I see.
You could shoot the battery. Right?
Oh, okay. Hydra. I remember Hydra.
I do remember.
Hydra was
back in the day in the movies, you could shoot the gas tank and it would explode the car. Can you do that with the battery?
Maybe
with a robot battery.
I think if you just pour salt water on a Tesla battery, it explodes.
That's true.
In a fiery flame.
That's true.
But nonetheless,
I saw that on a YouTube video one time.
And I think one thing that Colonel Dooley brought up is really important, and I wish we could have talked about that more, was the fact that we should the fear is the people that are working on this, because if we had in the past when we had Catholics creating technology, like we had the father of modern genetics was a Catholic priest. The person who invented the telescope was a Catholic. The people who were doing astronomy were all faithful Catholics. But now these people are secularists. They have no morals. At least a lot of them don't. And so whenever they're doing research in cloning, is cloning necessarily evil? Not necessarily. You could clone things that are not immoral, but these people, are they going to stop at that? Are they going to start cloning humans and harvesting their organs, which they probably are already doing in China?
Yeah.
And the same thing with AI. Could AI just be augmentation and help us with our tasks? Sure, that would be great.
It's doing that right now.
Exactly. But the fear is that the people who are working on this are not
because
people
the
who love us.
potential is real, right? So, in other words, if we evangelize the whole world and make disciples of people, we won't have to worry about what they do with things like AI technology.
Boom, shakalaka. That's a great idea, Joe. We should make an AI chatbot that is an evangelist. Then we don't have to do anything.
I tried to get the AI chatbot to write me a paragraph on why the Catholic Church is the true church, but I couldn't get the thing to work.
Dang it.
I know. I was going to read that. It was going to be fun, but it didn't work.
If there's a Catholic scientist out there, can you make apologetics bot?
Yeah.
That would be good.
All right. Coming up at 15 past the hour, we're going to play our game show, Fear and Trembling. I'm going to give you the phone number. First caller gets to play that game. So be ready. Be on standby to dial the phone number to play the game. It's fun. You laugh. You learn. You might win. It's a good time. Do be ready to call that number when I give it to you. But there is a couple of stories I want to update you on. Number one is Mark Houck, you might remember, a friend of the show, my longtime friend, but also a co-host of A Life Lived Joyfully at 3 o'clock Central across the Guadalupe Radio Network. Every Tuesday, in fact, he hosts that program. Well, his trial has begun. He's facing a FACE Act violation at an abortion mill from last year, and his trial has begun. So do keep him in your prayers. There is a good reason to believe, we have reasonable hope that his case will come out in his favor, but please do pray for that. But there was another story that you might not have heard about. A priest was actually found guilty of the FACE Act. The CNA headline says, priest found guilty of blocking entrance to abortion clinic, faces prison time. A Catholic priest who blocked access to a Planned Parenthood abortion clinic could face up to 1 year in prison after being found guilty on Monday of violating the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act, also known as the FACE Act. On the morning of July 7th, 2022, that was my birthday. So was this a birthday present to me, Father? Man, you're amazing. Praise be to God. On July 7th, Father Fidelius Moshinsky, 52 years old, a priest of the Franciscan Friars of the Renewal, effectively shut down the Planned Parenthood of Greater New York clinic in Hempstead for about 2 hours, according to the DOJ. He placed locks and chains on the gated entrance and covered some of them with glue, which prevented anyone from getting through the gate. After the fire department and the police department eventually cut through the locks, Father laid down in front of the entrance to prevent cars from going through the gate, a press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office said. On Monday, the court delivered a guilty verdict from the bench. Post-conviction motions must be filed by February the 7th, and the sentencing is scheduled for 2 p.m. on April the 24th. Quote, the defendant attempted to prevent women from accessing their legal right to vital reproductive and pregnancy services, close quote. Don't you like that language? Their vital reproductive and pregnancy services. In other words, he prevented them from trying to murder their children because they don't know what they're doing, obviously. United States Attorney Brian Peace said in a statement September the 29th, after the father was charged, quote, this office will enforce federal law to protect clinics and staff that provide reproductive health services while safeguarding the rights of their patients. I commend the local the police, the firefighters, bystanders who came to the health center's aid to ensure that it could continue serving the community. Exactly how does this qualify as a health center? That was the first question in my mind. When you are simply taking the life of a child, how is that health? Again, the health of the child is clearly at stake. The health of the child is being ripped away, taken away. The health of the child ceases to exist. So how is the clinic itself health center? The other question in my mind is, Are you also enforcing federal law when it comes to people attacking pro-life pregnancy centers? I'm just curious, because so far we've only heard of 2 people in the entire nation being charged for those violations. Nonetheless, the article goes on. In an interview with EWTN on July 16th, Father acknowledged that he blocked access to the clinic so he could talk to the mothers who were coming in that morning. Quote, imagine if you were one of those children scheduled to be executed that day, close quote, Father said. Would you not want every possible effort to be made to save your life? Let that sink in for a second. Imagine if you were one of these babies who was about to be murdered. Would you not wonder why someone didn't try to save your life? Yeah, powerful question, Father. He goes on to say, and saying that something is a step too far is simply saying, well, some lives are less valuable than others. We could sacrifice only up to a point, and then we'll let others die, close quote, Father said. The sentencing will be before a magistrate judge, Stephen Tisconi. Some members of the pro-life community commended Father for his actions at the abortion clinic and criticized those who would put him behind bars. Okay, so what I find fascinating about this is this priest sees the all-in angle here. He basically realizes that there is something we could do to prevent these babies, to hopefully save their babies. Now, I don't know. It's impossible for me to know whether or not the children he affected that day, did they simply reschedule? Did they simply wait? And as soon as he was hauled off to jail, they went on with their life and they went on with their abortion? I don't know. The article doesn't really tell me. I have to assume they probably did. But maybe, just maybe, he planted a seed in the heart of this mom to say, wow, this is so important. This means so much that this priest would lock the door, that he would lay down in front, that he would put himself in a position to even go to prison for up to a year. It looks like he could go to prison for this. He's willing to go to jail in order to save a life. I have to believe that's going to cause cognitive dissonance in the heart and the mind of the women who saw that day. And I think of my own life, having been post-abortive and having been to an abortion mill. There's something we can all do. Some of us are willing to go all the way. Some of us are willing to risk everything. Maybe it's easier for a priest who's not married and has no children. But nonetheless, there is a witness that still needs to be had in front of abortion mills. And how many of us are doing it? But how many of us are too intimidated because people like Mark Houck have been arrested, their homes raided, and hauled off to court? Let's pray for a successful outcome in Mark's case so that more people will be brave and courageous and try to plant those seeds in the hearts and minds of those mothers. All right, it's time for a little fun. It's time for a good time, to learn something. It's time to play our game. You could win. It's possible. You need to call to make that possible at 877-757-9424. That phone number is open to you right now at 877-757-9424. Call right now, 877-757-9424. First caller gets to play the game. Phone lines are open. Rudy standing by to take your call. 877-757-9424. We'll be right back.
Are there any basic rules for doing apologetics?
1 Peter 3:15 says, always be prepared to make a defense. Always be prepared, Scripture tells us. How can we always be prepared to make a defense of our faith? Rule number 1, pray. Pray to the Holy Spirit that He give you the courage to share your faith and the wisdom to choose your words carefully and profitably. Rule number 2, you don't have to know everything right now. Learn a little bit more about your faith each and every day. Read Scripture, read the Catechism, listen to apologetics tapes, listen to Catholic radio. Learn a little bit at a time. Rule number 3, Luke 5, verse 10. Do not be afraid, henceforth you will be catching men. Jesus said this to Peter, but He's also saying it to us. Will you make mistakes and get into tight spots when you start sharing your faith with others? Yes, of course you will. But Peter made mistakes and he got into tight tight spots. Yet Jesus told Peter not to be afraid. Why? Because if we are sincere in our desire to share the truth with others, to share Jesus Christ with others, then Jesus will find a way to make good come from even our mistakes. Rule number 4, always view a question about your faith or even an attack on your faith as an opportunity to share the truth. Rule number 5, don't get frustrated. Catholics often get frustrated by what I call the doctrinal dance. You get asked about purgatory, Mary, the Pope, the sacraments, all in rapid fire succession. Before you can answer one question, you're asked another, then another. Just keep bringing the discussion back to one topic until you've said all you want to say, then move on. Rule number 6, never be afraid to say, I don't know, when asked a question about your faith. Don't try to wing it. However, always follow I don't know with, but I will find out and get back to you, and make sure you do.
A beacon of truth in a troubled world. This is the Guadalupe Radio Network, radio for your soul.
Welcome to another round of Fear and Trembling, the Catholic trivia game show that helps you work out your salvation by the seat of your pants. It's a 50-50 chance and prizes are involved. Avoid the weeping and gnashing of teeth. Call now to take your shot, 877-757-9424. And now, your host, Joe McClain.
Praise be to Jesus Christ. Welcome back to Catholic Drive Time and Fear and Trembling, a Catholic trivia game show that has secrets and agendas that you're not allowed to tell anybody. Stop it. I can see you. You're tweeting right now. Don't do it. Don't tell anybody what I'm about to share with you. You got that? All right? Both hands on the wheel. Focus. Number 1, we like to teach the faith. We look for teachable moments in the questions where you might learn something you didn't know before. Praise be to God. That's always a good time. And then we like to laugh. We like to have a chuckle, a good time. And our callers are actually amazing. Just look it up. It's on Wikipedia. Then we give out prizes, which means this is a winner for everybody because we are absolutely, we are incentivizing you to either learn, laugh, or win. And somebody this week's going to do all three. Praise be to God. But the kicker is the secret sauce. This is the real thing right here. Okay. This is like, I'm not saying it's Q stuff, but it's deep. We don't ask the caller the questions.
What?
Yeah. They don't even know. They may not know a single correct answer, but they could still win. And the way is, instead of asking them, I'm going to ask Rudy and I'm going to ask Adrian, one of which will have a correct answer. The other will have an incorrect answer. The caller will then just have 15 seconds. They're going to have to make a decision. Whomst do they trust more, Rudy or Adrian? But if they get that right, well, then they go into the coffee cup of divine providence to win this week's prize. Rudy, what could they win?
Praise be to God. Our sponsor this week is my good friend Trisha over at Heavenly Creations on Etsy. She's an expert crochet artist who makes wonderful saint dolls, among other items. Now, currently on her shop, I'm going to just take a peruse here. She's got all kinds of different saints here, from Our Lady to St. Jude, St. Michael the Archangel. There's all kinds, St. Joan of Arc. There's all kinds of dolls here that make a great gift. Please make sure to check out her Etsy page. And make sure to sign up for our email list, where later this week we're going to be giving out some more goodies from Heavenly Creations. The winner this week is going to receive one of the Saints dolls. Now, if you want to check them out yourself, go to etsy.com/shop/Heavenly Creations 01. That helps her differentiate herself from other Heavenly Creations. But do check out that email list because we're going to be sending out something that I think you're going to want to wait for.
All right. Praise be to God. Making gifts great again. Thank you, Heavenly Creations, for your generous opportunity to give prizes to our audience. Let's go to the phones. Karen, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning, Joe.
Praise be to God, Karen. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. It's my birthday today.
What?
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That is what, 20, 22? What are we, you don't have to tell me, but one none?
No, it's twice.
Where are you calling from, Karen?
It's from Montreal, Quebec.
What? That's a first, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that we've ever had a Montreal caller before. Praise be to God. Well,
how
Karen,
cold is it over there?
Yeah, like what are we talking? Like 18 below, or what's it like?
I think it's like minus -2 or minus.
Oh, is that all?
Do you have a pet
Yeah.
moose?
Yeah.
I need to know.
Can we debunk all Canadian myths with you, Karen? Like, what does one do on their birthday in Montreal? Do you go ice fishing, moose wrangling? Like, what do you do up there for your birthday?
Because I'm just staying home today because, my husband is working, so...
I see. So you're going to wait till he gets
Yeah.
back, and then you're going to go ice
Yeah.
fishing. Got it.
Maybe. Hopefully.
Praise be to God. Well, Karen, happy birthday to you. Thank you for
Thank you.
being generous and being on our show today. Do you understand how this game works? Do you know the rules?
Yes. I'm
Praise God.
always listening to you.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that, by the way. All right, so we're going to start with Rudy Carlos, which is our church-approved tradition. Pretty sure Benedict wrote about it in his last book.
He did.
That Rudy is the only acceptable tradition that we can still maintain.
He talked about the relationship between the tie that I wear and whether or
did.
not
I was gonna
right,
bring
wrong.
that up. Yeah, in
But
the
it hasn't
after
been
show.
translated, so,
yeah, but
you
by the
know.
way, Rudy is not wearing a tie today. He is wearing a sweater, and it is Houston, which means it's 98 degrees outside. He's still wearing a sweater, so very shady, very skeptical on that one. But Rudy, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Let's start with a difficult question.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Who are the three authors of the Synoptic Gospels?
Synoptic.
Remember Da
okay.
Vinci Code, the movies?
Matthew, Mark, Luke.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Uh-huh.
Not John.
You're going to go with Matthew, Mark,
Mark
and Luke. That's your answer.
But not John.
You're sure?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Adrian, you went to a Catholic university, so I'm sure you walked past a Bible in a glass case somewhere.
It's true. That happened a couple times.
Could you help me out? Who are the three authors of the Synoptic Gospels?
Yes. That's a very easy question, really. I mean, anyone
I see.
who has even heard of a Bible should know
Yeah.
that it's
okay.
Mo, Larry, and Curly.
What?
Yeah.
Those are like the
that's
shortened names, like the casual from
Yeah, I
the
mean,
original
it's-
Hebrew.
No. See, you have to go back to the Aramaic.
Oh, man,
That's the problem. You go back to the Aramaic, you translate it over,
And you
it's
get-
Mo, Larry, and Curly.
Mo, Larry, and Curly. Fascinating. Yeah. All right, Karen in Montreal, you got options here. The three Synoptic Gospel authors. Adrian, who does have a university degree from a Catholic place, says it's Mo, Larry, and Curly. Whereas Rudy, who's wearing a sweater in Texas, says it's Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Those are your options. 15 seconds on the clock. Who is right? Who is wrong? Karen, what say you?
It's Rudy.
I'm surprised Adrian even knows
so
who Mo,
wise.
Larry, and Curly are.
Who is Mo, Larry, and Curly? I just made that up.
He just made that
I
up.
just made up those names.
Okay.
Is that a reference to something?
Yeah.
What?
Mhm.
What?
I used to love watching the Three Stooges. Man, I grew
Oh,
up
the Three
watching
Stooges.
Three Stooges.
Isn't that from the 1920s?
Karen, do you know who the Three Stooges are?
I think when I was elementary, I watched it before.
See,
Yeah.
we caught the Karen and I are of similar vintage. We caught the reruns anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Praise be to God. All right, Matthew, Mark, and Luke is the
That's my
correct
daughter.
answer. Well, welcome to the show. Praise God. All right, let's see if we can get you in there for a second opportunity. We're going to go to Adrian first on this one. Now, Adrian,
Yes.
could you help me out with this one?
No.
Well, good to know. The Pope is considered infallible in what instances?
Oh, that's what you wanted help with.
Yes, please.
Okay, well, yeah, I can help you with that.
Oh, good.
So it's when he speaks as the head of the church on matters of faith and morals.
I see. That's it?
Yep, that's all it
The
takes.
only circumstances?
That's all he needs.
Surely there's more.
Is all he needs to be speaking as the head of the church.
Okay.
And on matters of faith and morals.
Faith and morals.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'll see. Like going 5 miles over the speed limit, you mean?
Did Pope Francis or any Pope talk about going over the speed limit?
Hey, he said, who am I to judge?
That's all 5 miles.
Pretty sure.
Gotta
All right,
go
Rudy.
at least 10.
Rudy, maybe you can help out. The Pope is considered infallible in what circumstances?
Infallible, right? Of course, when he's wearing the red papal shoes, but
Really?
especially when he's on planes, though.
What?
Yeah, he can't trip, he can't fall or anything.
Are you saying there's emphasis on a plane?
Yes.
That is amazing. All right. Karen, you got options. When is the Pope considered to be infallible? Is it when he is wearing his papal red shoes, especially while riding on the papal plane? Or that's what Rudy said. Adrian said, however, it's when he speaks as head of the church on the matters of faith and morals. 15 seconds on the clock. Who's right? Who's wrong? Karen, what say you?
It's Adrian.
Now, you were oddly, you were
what a genius.
Some would say you were dangerously close there, Karen,
Tactician.
to admitting Adrian was correct.
Hey, don't worry, Karen. Everybody knows
Very
when you go with
scary.
Adrian, you become younger, faster, stronger, more attractive. Your hair goes back to its original shine.
Oh, wait, does
All
it?
those things happen.
Oh.
You got to trust the science.
Does hair actually grow back in?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, well, then
Of
Adrian's
course.
correct.
There you go.
Praise be to God.
There you go.
Bring on the hair.
I can already see the hair growing back on Joe's head.
That's amazing. You are, in fact, correct. When he speaks as head of the church on matters of faith and morals. Now, they say ex cathedra, but he doesn't physically have to be sitting in his chair.
Nope.
Unfortunately, because that would be uber Chad if he did.
He has to bring it down because it's all hanging up.
Yeah.
Brings it down, sits on
I'm
it,
saying
or
it'd be
Needs
cool.
a
carries
ladder.
him up.
All right,
Yeah.
let's just see if we can't get you in there for a third time. Back to Rudy. Rudy, what is the name of the crown made by shaving the upper part of the head? Now, this is usually religious gentlemen who get this. Now, what is that called?
Well, you go to the barber shop and you say, "Give me a high and tight," and then they know what it.
I know,
they know what it is.
exactly what that means.
Yep.
I see. A high and tight.
They're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
yes, brother, of course."
Yes. Okay.
Right away.
No, we're not talking corporal cuts here. We're talking high and tight.
Yeah. Go,
Got it. Got it.
Go
All
to your
right.
local Smart Cuts.
Adrian, could you help me out? What is
Yes.
the name of the crown made by shaving the upper part of the head? What do we call that?
Well, as someone who identifies as a PhD in haircutology, that's a technical term, by the way.
see.
Yes, that would be a tonsure.
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 Okay. All right, Karen. What say you? Is this specific haircut on the crown of the head, is that called a tonsure, as Adrian wants you to believe? Or is that a high and tight, as Rudy seems to suggest? 15 seconds on the clock. Who's right? Who's wrong? Karen in Montreal. What say you?
I'm not sure, but Adrian?
Well said. That's the way you ought to admit he's right. Like, Adrian. Like it's painful.
Oh, ye of little faith,
Like you're
Karen.
passing
Oh,
a
ye of
kidney
little
stone or
faith.
something, right, Karen? Like, Adrian, I guess is right. In fact, he is. Tonsure is the correct answer. Well played.
Oh, okay.
Karen, I need you to take a picture of you riding a moose today and send that off to us. We want to post that on our social feeds. But Karen, you are fun. God bless you. Happy birthday to you. And
Thank
God
you.
bless you. Thanks for playing our game. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to put you on hold. That's going to do it for the radio side of our show. That was fun. Join us in the after show. Let's talk direct. grnonline.com/CDT.
Thank you for joining us on Your Catholic Drive Time, where it is our pleasure to keep you informed and inspired.
Join us Monday through Friday at the same time, right here on your favorite Catholic radio station.
Don't forget to connect with us. Just go to facebook.com/Catholic Drive Time.
Again, that's facebook.com/Catholic Drive Time.
Be sure to share more than just us today. Share Jesus with everyone you meet.
Bye now, and God love you.
All right, Karen. Where do you listen to us? I need to know. Because we don't have a radio station in Montreal. So it's gotta be online. Is it Facebook? Is it YouTube? Is it Twitter? Is it Rumble? Is it Odyssey? We have too many platforms. Or maybe it's the app. Maybe she listens on the GRN app. It's possible. Very curious to how Karen listens to us from Montreal, the Great White North. I wonder if she knows our buddy Alan with Fulton Sheen Today. I'd be very curious as to whether or not they know each other. Because everybody that lives in the same area knows each other, right? I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Just like whenever I meet someone in France, I'm like, oh, I know someone in France. Do you know this person? And it's like, you do know this is an entire country, right? I'm like, yeah, but like on the off chance that y'all do know each other, it's possible, but usually not the case. I think that what Rudy said here is very insightful. He said, let me get a tondra fade. I think that we should all petition to have Rudy get tondered. We'll record it. I think it'd be good.
I think we should do it this Friday.
I think so.
This Friday.
Put it on camera and everything.
Some would say a great opportunity to give somebody a haircut.
There'll be things leaving on Friday.
Yeah.
And it might be Rudy's hair.
It should be yours, though, to be honest.
Nah, I'm going to be gone.
100% ought to be yours.
I will be on a boat.
Yeah.
Sailing away to Margaritaville. Looking for my long-lost shaker of salt.
I want to see a photo of you drinking a margarita on the boat.
Yeah, that'd be horrible, actually. It'd be like that. Dude, it's going to be a fishing boat. It's not going to be...
Do you get seasick?
I don't know. I'm going to find out, though.
I get seasick. I still like going out to sea, but I get seasick.
I've never been far out on the water. I've only ever been around... I've been on lakes.
Sure.
That's about it. That's not the same
you'll be
as
fine.
deep
It'll
sea.
be great.
I'm going to die.
You're not going to die.
Please pray for me.
I'll pray for you, but you're not going to die.
It's going to be terrible.
I pray that you catch a tuna.
I probably will catch a tuna, or at least we will catch tunas. Will I specifically catch a tuna? I don't know. I'm not a good fisherman, but it's pretty hard not to over there.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, whose boat are you going on? Is it just like your buddy's boat, or is it a charter?
No, it's a charter.
Oh, then you're definitely going to catch something, because these guys are going to take you straight to the one spot where they know you're going to catch fish. And they're going to drop the bait,
That's true.
bait down, and all you got to do is reel it up.
However,
That's it.
I had a friend who did one of these charters, and they caught nothing.
Adrian.
It happens every once in a while.
Adrian, please promise us, if you catch a tuna and it's just going to let go, bro. Just let the tuna go.
Dude.
It's better off you come back alive than with tuna meat.
Well, Jay Koch said, will Adrian catch a tuna, or will tuna catch Adrian?
Man. Poor guy.
I know. That's a horrible way to die.
Guys, I messed up big time.
Uh-oh. What this time?
What else is new?
He's talking about hiring.
Really? Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. Luz, I'm so sorry. I missed this. She wanted me to congratulate her son and wish him a happy birthday. Angel Gabriel, today's his 9th birthday.
Oh, wow.
And I totally missed this message. She wanted me to do it on the radio. Luz, I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, I know it's a day late and $1 short. I am sorry. I wish I'd have seen this sooner. My bad. But happy birthday to you, Angel Gabriel. Amazing. 9 years old. What do you do on your 9th birthday? Skydive? What's the alligator wrestling? What does one do?
I'd rather
9th birthday
alligator
these days?
wrestle than skydive.
Yeah, I'd rather wrestle an alligator, to be honest.
What about like the what do you call those suits? The wing suits? Like the
squirrel suit?
The squirrel suits? That'd be fun to do. Wouldn't you think that'd be fun to do? Jump off like a mountain cliff and then squirrel suit all the way down?
No,
I was thinking about it. No, not really.
I don't think I would do that.
Seems
it
amazing.
gives me flashbacks to when I was trying to impress this girl that I liked.
Oh, really?
And my buddies and I, we went to this 75-foot jump to, it was down to this little tiny pool.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly was deep enough for the 75-foot drop that everybody was jumping off of. And for an hour or two, my friends were trying to get me to jump. They were just calling up to me, and the girl I had a crush on was next to me, and they were like, come on, Rudy, let's go. And even the strangers started peer pressuring me, and I didn't jump, and I didn't impress the girl. So,
yikes.
Yeah. I don't think you should be jumping from heights unless you're in the military.
Yeah, my policy is I'm not afraid of heights.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't jump off of heights.
Exactly.
I am afraid of heights.
Afraid of the heights.
I am afraid of heights.
I am afraid of jumping off the heights, though.
Heights, I don't know what, like, why are some people afraid of heights and others aren't?
I don't know.
I don't understand that.
Some people are just not as good as I am.
My daughter, I don't think is going to be afraid of heights.
I've always
She's
had
a daredevil.
fear of heights. You know, like it's weird though. I think there's a condition. Everything is a condition these days.
I have a theory.
But like when you're like, for instance, I filmed part of my documentary movie that I released a few years ago I asked a friend who has an apartment in a high-rise building. She's like 25 stories up or something, like 23, 25 stories up. And every time I've been to her apartment, it's always like super nerve-wracking because like her walls are all glass. There's no, every outside wall is a glass window. There's no, so you can physically see out these windows. And then she has a balcony that hangs out over.
Why would you want to do that, by the way?
And
your entire life on display.
Anytime I'm like at a height like that or whatever, it's like that my hands get sweaty, and you look down,
your knees weak,
and all you can think about
Mom's spaghetti.
Yeah, and all you can think of is you're going to fall over, right? So because I've always struggled with that, I've also always tried to deal with that, like always tried to not let the fear overcome me as it has in the past. So like in the film, I stood on the edge of that balcony.
That's funny, because when you told me that, I was like, wow, you were really close to that edge there.
Oh, and then I almost lost my drone off that building. Oh, that crushed me.
If you dropped the drone, you could just make it fly.
Dude, it was going to fall into their pool. I thought I was going to get her in trouble. I was like, oh, I'm such a jerk.
So here's my theory. The people who are afraid of heights, they have eye problems.
Really?
They can't. This is a complete theory. I'm making it up as I go.
Can you put the tinfoil hat on when we say this? I'm just curious.
So you have depth perception issues.
Okay.
And therefore, it makes it even worse when you're at heights. That's my theory. I don't know. Scientists, can anybody tell me?
I think there's a weird
peer-reviewed
fascination
journals
about falling for people who are afraid of heights.
Do you dream about it?
Here's another thing. I have a friend who went skydiving, but is also afraid of heights.
Yeah, see, that's the kind of category I'm in.
And they're not. She was telling me, she was like, "Yeah, we're going to this tower," and she stayed at the bottom as everyone else went up the tower.
Right.
And because she was like, "Oh, I'm scared of heights."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Wait, didn't you go skydiving like a month ago?" She goes, "That's totally different. That's totally."
100%.
I'm like, "What?
No, it isn't.
That's totally different.
Like climbing a tower is like, it's whatever, man. It's a concrete building. It's not gonna. The chances of it falling over is
it'll
like
definitely
nothing.
fall over.
No,
100%.
man. Makes no sense.
When I climbed
whatsoever.
when I climbed the Tower of Americas in San Antonio, I'd been up that tower several times as a kid, even. But you can feel it swaying in the wind, and you're like, "How old is the concrete here? I mean, surely there's got to be cracks. Who's actually maintaining this? Does that person even care? At $7.50 an hour, do they even care about my life?"
They
Probably
only care
not.
if you splurge on the VHS tape of the the skydive.
But so when I was going to boot camp, I knew that I would have to face the heights situation because we do rappelling and we climb obstacle course towers and all that stuff. So you flip a switch in your mind. You're like, no matter what, I'm gonna do this. And so my dad took me. He allowed me because he was a master sergeant in the Army at the time. Before I went to boot camp, he got me an opportunity to go to the helicopter assault school up at Fort Drum in New York. And the instructor gave me some instruction on rappelling, and I got to rappel down the tower. So I had already experienced that part of it before going to boot camp. So I made the decision when I was at boot camp. You climb this really, it's like 3-story tower or something like that.
Wow.
And it's nerve-wracking if you're not used to it, never done it before. And there's 2 things you do. One is you walk down the wall. And then there's another where there's a hole in the platform, and you jump in through the hole and you fall. You just do a free fall, and you're supposed to stop yourself before you hit the ground. So, but like most people stop themselves well ahead of time, not me. I waited till like the last minute, and then I broke, and I almost hit the drill instructor. I almost knocked him off his feet. That was super close.
Sean Marie said, "I thought I was going to die whale watching. They could capsize us so easily. Captain was so nervous, made it worse." Dude, why are you telling me this? No, thanks, dude.
Was the skipper drinking?
Oh,
or
man.
What was the deal? Did
Tammy
he not know that there was whales there?
Adrian, you're going to love deep sea fishing and be hooked. There's nothing more beautiful than being out there on the water with nothing around you.
No pun
for
intended.
some reason, that didn't make me more comfortable. Being out there in the water with nothing around you. I don't know.
Is that foreshadowing? Tammy said you were going to get hooked by a tuna?
Oh, my goodness.
By a tuna?
Jay Koch said, part 1, Joan and the Whale. Part 2, Adrian and the Tuna. Oh, man, dude. All you people making these jokes, y'all better be praying for me. I'm going to die.
Oh, no. You're going to die. No, you're not going to die. Good grief. You know how to swim?
I'm a very poor swimmer.
Dude, okay, listen. What happens if you fall in the water,
die.
Take off your pants.
Okay.
Because I know you're going to be wearing. You ain't wearing shorts.
I'm going to be wearing a suit.
You can wear a suit and a tie. You can take off your pants.
Use my tie.
Tie the ends in knots.
How do you?
On each
Every
pant leg.
pant leg, a knot.
A knot on each pant leg.
Okay.
So it makes a tube.
Zip them.
Oh, I see.
Zip them and zipper them and button them so that they're a tube. And then smack it hard onto the surface of the water. Air will inflate inside your pants, and then you can hold on until the Coast Guard rescues you 6 or 7 days later.
Until Mike Koeniger comes.
Exactly.
And rescues you.
Koeniger's going to come in there and get you.
What you're saying is I'm going to die. That's what I heard.
Listen, it's not
the dynamic equivalent of what you just said.
Think about how interesting this is going to be at a cocktail party.
I'm telling you, we're going to get
survive,
to tell
man.
stories
Survive.
for years.
Eric said, "Take off your socks when swimming." What? Why?
Well, so you could feel the sharks nibbing at your toes.
That's true. Yeah.
You want to be able to feel that. You don't want to go like what
No, but actually,
what was that?
Well, I think either way with a shark, you're probably done for. But if there's stripes or anything like colorful on your clothes, the shark will especially think you're a fish. But either way, I mean, if you're up there and you're paddling
flopping around and you're like flailing,
you're looking like a seal.
You're looking like a turtle at the surface and a yummy snack.
It's over.
It's like it's just you and the shark. You're gonna have to make some tough decisions on what you're gonna do about that.
It's so over, guys.
And then the shark's gonna be like, "Hey, Adrian.
Well,
enjoy your dinner."
Well, guess who's not going to be back on Monday?
Can I get more than one guess? Or? No, I can only get.
You can get. You have 3 guesses.
3 guesses.
The second 2 don't count.
The second 2 don't count. Well, I don't know. I bet you're going to be back. I bet it's going to be fine. I bet you'll be all right. It'll be good.
So over.
Nah, listen. It's the dehydration and the baking in the sun that's the most dangerous to you.
Oh,
because you're going to be.
There's more things to worry about.
You're going to be desperate. You're going to want to drink the seawater, and you're going to realize that's a bad idea. You ought not
it's still
to do
water,
that.
isn't it? You need those electrolytes.
Yeah, a little too many probably.
I have no issue.
But I do understand that all of the coolest YouTube survivalists drink their urine in those circumstances. So consider
it is sterile.
Consider it.
Okay. Well, there you go, folks.
For legal reasons, that was an absolute joke.
Okay, if the ship is capsizing, make sure to get enough water off the ship.
What?
Oh, did you guys ever see there was that Robert Redford movie?
No. I don't watch movies.
He had no talking parts. It was only one sentence he said in the entire film. The movie is about, spoiler alert, this film is about him sailing a boat all by himself out at sea. He wakes up and he realizes that a container fell off a container ship from China and was floating around the ocean and just happened to hit his sailboat, putting a big hole in it, letting a bunch of water in. So he fixes the boat himself. And then he gets into a storm, things go bad, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse, to the point where he loses his boat and he's on a life raft. But to get the attention of a passing cargo ship, he sets his boat on fire.
What?
If you're
Did it work?
Sailing,
I don't want to give any spoilers.
If you're sailing in the vastness of the ocean and you just happen to hit a cargo container, I'm sorry, but that's a message from God right there. If you're gonna be, I mean, you might as well have. I don't know. I think you have a better chance of winning the lottery than happening to you.
Amy Eric 9 says, sounds possible, Rudy. I used to love heights. I'd go bungee jumping all the time. Now, as I'm older and my eyesight is failing, I'm petrified to climb a ladder. Very interesting theory. I never heard this theory before.
It's because I made it up.
Now, I see. Well, yeah. I don't know, but I will force
Call it a
myself
spark
to
of
deal with
Adam or
heights.
something. I don't know.
I will force myself to deal with the heights issue. I used to have to climb telephone poles, and I used to have a job where I would be up in a bucket truck, a boom truck, and I would be like 30,
You mean a cherry picker?
Yeah, a cherry picker would be like 20, 30 feet off the ground and driving me down the road at height. and it'd be bouncing all over
Isn't
the road,
that-
swaying. It'd be crazy. But
Pretty sure OSHA said that's not okay.
But you actually, when you are hanging,
I've never seen them drive while someone's in there.
Well, because we were building the
Sounds illegal.
We were building the plant on telephone poles. In other words, we were hanging the wires that then we'd hang the cables to and lash the cable to the wire. We had to first hang the wires, and then when we would hang the cable to that wire along telephone poles, you have to do it. The guy has to be up there.
Oh, guiding it.
And what happens is he hangs the cable on rollers that hang off the steel wire, and then we come after with a lashing machine to lash it all up. So I was always the guy, being the rookie on the bottom of the telephone totem pole, so to speak, to have to be up in the bucket. And one time they drove me through a tree. Another time they almost...
On purpose?
They almost dumped me out. I mean, yeah.
What's wrong with your coworkers?
There's a long conversation.
Speaking of what's wrong with your coworkers,
I had one of the worst coworker stories ever told to me by Nick the Mike over at Odyssey.
Really?
He had a crazy. I can't even repeat it.
Is this the one where he said they had robot dogs
no, but
doing
that
security
is
patrols
pretty
on
odd.
his former Air Force base?
Jay Cook says, he's talking about the movie, was he able to keep the contents of the cargo container?
Ooh, excellent question.
Sonia, speaking of
I don't want to give it a spoiler.
of bad coworkers, Sonia says, Adrian, Joe and Rudy are not your friends today. Yes, you're so true, Sonia. They are abandoning me currently. She said, you will be perfectly fine. Take sunblock, a hat, lip balm, and drink water. It's beautiful out there in the big ocean. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you. At least someone is trying to be comforting over here. Meanwhile, these guys over here just like leaving me out to dry, so to speak.
So to speak. I like
Dry.
the puns. Puns. Good puns. Praise be to God.
Colin said drinking seawater used to send the men crazy back to the days of the old sailing ships. It happened also with the men of the USS Indianapolis, World War II. What do you mean by crazy? Like legitimately crazy, like lose their minds? Or really?
Yeah, because it's not, well, one, it can kill you, so it's not helping them, and they're only getting more and more desperate. The men of the Indianapolis, by the way, their boat sank, and many of those men were eaten by sharks. True story. That's not
that
even a
also
joke.
happened to the men of the USS Liberty.
Well, I'm just going to stay home.
Can I go? Because I would love to actually go deep sea fishing. I mean, it sounds like a good time. I get sick as a dog on it, but I'd go anyway. You throw up, you chum the waters. It just helps your fellows catch more fish. That's
I
all.
want to go fishing again for deer.
Oh, yeah. That's the best catch of the day right there. Tastes so yummy. Hey, so are you going to take, did you say you got seasick or not, Adrian?
I don't know.
So are you going to take?
Oh, you got to take Dramamine.
You going to take Dramamine or Bonine or whatever?
I don't even know what that is.
Dramamine will help you with the motion sickness. You can get it anywhere.
It makes you super sleepy, though.
Oh, why would you want that?
So you don't throw up?
Interesting.
I mean, it could make the difference between being sleepy and being completely miserable.
Miserable.
puking
So,
your
like
guts out.
So miserable.
I would take it just in case.
The last time was when I
Can I have caffeine with that?
why not? Sure,
Yeah, sure.
go for it. I drove a
be bad
van
for you?
full of guys to Florida a few
That was a legit question.
a few years ago, and
Because like some medicine, you're not supposed to have like caffeine with it.
read the fine
or
print, bro.
I'm gonna
I'm
die.
pretty sure you
They're
can.
gonna kill me.
And I drove some guys to Florida to go in a fishing tournament out there, and although I wasn't fishing, I did get to hang out with the guys on the boat, and I got so sick. I mean, just so sick. I mean, it was miserable.
Were you sick and tired?
I was tired after.
Sick and tired of those people.
I was pretty sick. I always it's like my eyes are bigger, than what I can take. I always think, oh, it's gonna be fine this time, and then it's not. It gets really bad.
Rhaegar82 says Adrian is going to come back with his fishing trip with a 2-foot beard and speaking to a Wilson volleyball.
Wilson. I'm not seeing all these comments. I don't know where's that one. Where did you just read that one?
YouTube.
Something's amiss because
Are on the wrong YouTube?
I must be on the wrong YouTubes.
Because it got restarted.
Must be.
Yeah.
Must be.
Not seeing. Tammy, Paul says, Tammy, more amazing is how God created a dolphin with the ability to do so. Oh, she's talking about, because Tammy said that dolphins would attack the gills of the sharks because that's where their weak spot is. Yeah, it is pretty amazing. Dolphins are surprisingly smart. Eric says, first to upchuck gets a prize. Please don't be me. I do not want to. I would not want that to be me.
How many guys?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't really know anything about this trip. I haven't.
You have really thought this through. I can tell.
You've
put some sincere thought and effort into
It's been a really busy week, so I just haven't had a chance to think about anything else.
Ooh.
But at some
Mimi,
point, today or tomorrow, I'll have to do it.
Ginger tea is a good option, according to Mimi. Won't make you sleepy.
Oh,
so maybe
tea.
Get some ginger root, make yourself some tea, take the ginger root with you, and if you start and drink it right before you get on the boat, drink it while you're on the boat, and gnaw on some ginger root while you're there. You'll hate the taste of it, but nonetheless, I actually like ginger tea. I think it tastes great.
I like ginger tea. I don't know if I would like chomping on a root of ginger.
Probably not.
But I like ginger tea.
Yeah. Maybe the chomping on it will make you sick and throw up. I don't know. Maybe. Let's try it. Let's see. Let's experiment a little bit. See where that goes.
Let's not say we did.
Let's see where we go with that. Ginger, good for the stomach. Yes, that's true, Colin. Praise be to God. Mary McCoach, always heard of focus on horizon to ease seasickness. That's never worked for me. I'm sure it works for somebody.
Tammy says, my hubby says, pop a beer. Alcohol makes the equilibrium. You get seasick because the boat is moving while your body is trying to stay upright. All right. Tammy so far has had the best suggestion. I'm going to drink an absorbent amount of beer, and that'll cure me. That'll make me.
And you'll have to go to confession.
That'll be good. Mary McCoach said, always heard focus on horizon to ease seasickness. You just read that. Paul Wasick said, very important while at sea, keep on smiling. Is that a thing? Or are you just saying be happy? Is that?
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Be happy now. How's the song go?
I want to get one of those, those fish that are on a plaque, the rubber ones that we sing.
Yeah.
I want one with that song, but they're long gone now.
You can still get them. Goodwill. They've got a ton of them.
I never see them there.
I always see them.
You know what's sad is I remember when I was 10, I would go into a thrift store and I would see some interesting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff is long gone now. The stuff you're seeing now is from 2010. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
hey,
end of an era.
Forrest says they make ginger candy to settle my wife's stomach when she was being treated that helped settle her stomach. So look for ginger candy. Could be an option.
Oh, Mary says, wear an eye patch.
Eye patch. Really? Is that a thing too?
Yarr.
I need y'all, you guys. I'm believing everything you're saying. So I need y'all to be serious when you're let me know.
Do it all at once.
Let me know if what you're saying is true.
While looking at the horizon, pop a Dramamine, a beer, a ginger candy, a ginger ale.
Yes.
Put an eye patch on.
I mean,
if I don't
take your pants off,
makes sense,
tie
right?
the ends
if
up,
I fast for 24
slam it on the water.
Will I be good?
You should already have your pants tied in knots before you get on
true.
the boat. I'm gonna say, just take them off, tie the knots, throw it over your shoulder, and just be like, when everybody says what are you doing? You'll be like, dude, I'm the only one that's gonna live through this, bro. Okay, I'm getting back. Y'all aren't.
It's true.
Also, don't strap yourself to the fishing pole, says Eric. Good advice.
Good, solid advice.
There's no need for you to do that. If it's attached to the boat, you don't need to attach yourself to the fishing pole. So,
hey, Karen said she's listening at Station of the Cross app, then after show here on YouTube or Rumble. There we go.
Hey,
now
good
we
morning,
know where
Karen.
Karen is listening from.
Happy birthday,
cool.
Karen.
Happy birthday.
Thanks for playing our game. That was fun.
Karen could be.
Praise be to God. I still want to know what Canadians do in Montreal.
They ride moose, right?
At 18
mice?
below.
They call it mice?
6 below, whatever it
Mises?
was.
What
Meese?
about that camera conspiracy guy? Isn't he there?
Camera
Oh,
conspiracy?
yeah. He is. He's got the right kind of sarcastic
He's
humor.
a weird bird.
He is a weird bird, but
As Joe says.
he's a fun guy. So isn't
He's a fun guy?
Isn't Grant Cardone? Is it Grant Cardone, the purple guy? Isn't he also from Canada?
The purple guy?
What are we talking about?
We're talking about camera YouTube channels now.
I've never seen that guy.
Oh, Gerald Undone?
Gerald Undone. Same thing. It's exactly.
Canadian?
Yeah, he's Canadian.
I didn't know he was Canadian.
Oh yeah, it's purple. It's dead giveaway.
Oh.
Total.
Okay.
Obvious.
What?
Hello.
You know, Tammy, that's funny you say that because my dad told me, he was like, whenever he went out deep sea fishing with his cousin when he was a kid, I guess he wasn't that young, but when he was younger, I guess he was probably like an older teenager. My dad said they were in a little bitty boat, and my cousin had just purchased, his cousin had just purchased a boat, and they were all like, oh yeah, let's go on the water. And they went out on the water, and they all thought they got the coolest thing ever because they had a boat, but it was tiny. But they didn't realize it at the time how small it was. And then my dad said, "Yeah, my uncle was sick and he was drinking and he was there and they were and he was like, hey, so like those big barges, when they come by, how are they gonna see us?" And so my dad would asking my cousin that. He goes, "Don't worry, I got it." And he gets this little bitty blinking red light and he sticks it on top of it. It goes, "Dunk," and it's just this little bitty red light
it travels a long way.
And he was like, okay, no big deal. And it said when he woke up, my dad's uncle, when they woke up, he looks over and he's like feeling sick, and he looks over, cracks open a beer, and starts drinking a hot beer. The first thing he did when he woke up, and he's like, yeah, and they got him all better.
I'm feeling.
So what's up with that? Why is that?
Talking about this?
Yeah,
I'm feeling motion sickness right now.
You know, my dad gets seasick, so I bet I'm gonna get seasick.
Forrest says, make sure they have life preservers that are up to date.
Like your pants, for instance.
Like your pants.
You just tie the knots.
No okay, so let's see if
works on shirts too, by the way.
If you're gonna use, it has to be nylon then, right? Something with really tight knit.
When I was trained by the U.S. military in cutting advanced technology and techniques of saving oneself while floating in the middle of the ocean, we had cotton shirts. We were wearing dungarees at the time, dungaree jean pants that were bell bottoms with a steel-toed boondockers on, for crying out loud. I mean, like, I'm sure that swims really well. And then we had a cotton blue shirt, you know, and we had to use these as flotation devices. We had a hat too. You know those white sailor hats? You could float on your back and smack that hat down on your belly and hold it tight to your chest, and it would hold air.
That's so weird.
Here's a idea. Let me know, guys. I need to know if this is a legitimate idea or if I'm crazy. Mm-hmm. If I don't eat 24 hours before going, you'll
still get sick.
I still get sick.
You're just gonna.
It doesn't help.
Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna get dry heaves, and your stomach is just gonna be giving up all the bile.
Oh.
Even if there's no material there to offer up, it's still gonna heave and contract, and it's gonna be a good time. You're gonna have a good time. I'm excited for you.
Oh man,
the good days of deep sea fishing.
Well, I don't think I've ever had any good days before.
Low sugar makes you sick too. Are you saying we should eat a lot of sugar, Mary? I'm not so sure.
I think Saturday and Sunday I'm gonna bring a bag of sugar.
Have we scared him enough? I'm just curious.
You guys are terrible. Actually, the worst.
Ginger Snap Cookies, writes Sonia. Adrian, I ate these when I was pregnant with both my sons. Morning sickness didn't stand a chance. Wow. Challenge accepted, Sonia. I would say Adrian ought to eat an entire package of Ginger Snap Cookies before getting on this boat, just to see if it works. What do you say, Adrian? Are you in?
Nah.
Come on, bro.
Ginger Snap Cookies?
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to make me throw up.
Nah. Maybe Forrest is offering M&Ms. Are we allowed to eat M&Ms still?
I'll eat M&Ms.
You're going to have M&Ms. Do they make ginger M&Ms?
I heard M&Ms cures motion sickness.
Does it?
I heard that.
The peanut ones or no?
The peanut ones only.
Got it.
You know, I heard that from a credible source. It was from me 2 seconds ago.
Credible sources. Moose is the plural of moose, writes Damon.
Is it?
Is it?
I think it's meese.
Mises?
Mooses.
Moosei?
Kind of like hippopotamuses. Mooses.
I'd love to.
Lights 10 says 1 shot of tequila and you'll be just fine.
Can I admit something, Karen? I've been to Montreal once, and I failed to go to St. Joseph's Oratory when I was there.
Ooh.
I know. And I used to live not that far away, really. New Hampshire is a lot closer to Montreal than Texas is, and I had never visited St. Joseph's Oratory. Shame on me.
Yeah, shame on you.
Shame on me. Maybe someday. Once Trudeau's out of office, though, clearly. Then I can try it. God love you guys. Thanks for having a laugh with us today. We really appreciate it. What's on the show tomorrow, Rudy?
Tomorrow we're gonna be talking about those pesky
Jesuits.
pesky documents that keep showing up. Ah, man, at the Joe Biden residence. I didn't know they were there. I'm sorry,
Mike
guys.
Pence? You mean Mike Pence?
I
mean, someone's got to go to jail. Donald Trump? No?
Thank you for joining us on Your Catholic Drive Time, where it is our pleasure to keep you informed and inspired.
Join us Monday through Friday at the same time.
Jesus is a friend of mine. Jesus is my friend. Jesus is a friend of mine. It won't get done if God don't do it. We won't get done. What up with that? What up with that? What are we talking about? Come on, man.
Joe Brandon, I agree. Hey.